If you haven't come to one of these before, it is a video where we get some of our bookish friends to come talk to us about some of the things that they have been reading. Today, because it's January, we are also going to talk a little bit about like reading goals or bookish resolutions. As always, starting with lovely Gretchen, because she's the front of our betwixt sandwich when we do these.
So the order our names go in alphabetically or whatever.
Mm.
Longtime viewers of this channel will be aware that we have been operating it for, at this point, over 10 years. When we started this, I predominantly read young adult fantasy. You can literally watch on this channel my brain breaking slightly in the like almost immediate switch transition from young adult fantasy to doing adult romance and also nonfiction. And I didn't mind it at first. It felt really new and fresh and interesting. And I still love romance novels so much. So I'm not upset about it. But for this year, I would really like to get back to doing maybe not the young adult stuff, but going back to more fantasy reading. I've gotten to the point where I miss it. I know that like romantasy is a thing now, and that might be a really easy way to go back into it. But I've had some fantasy books that have just been like kind of sitting on my shelves because people have gifted them to me. And they're like, "Oh, I think you'd really like this," and they're probably right. But like, I haven't been able to read like a real fantasy book in a really long time. So I want to try to push myself and stretch myself in that direction.
Well, if that's everything that you have to say, I'll talk about my
Yeah.
stuff. So I made an entire solo video where I talked about like all of my bookish resolutions for 2025. But today, the one that I'm gonna like talk about a little bit. If you didn't know, I worked for Barnes & Noble for a very long time, and one of the perks for working for Barnes & Noble is one, you get physical ARCs for free. The publishers send to the booksellers so that they can read them before they come out in order to better hand sell them. But two, you also get a discount, obviously, for working for the company, and that has led me to amass a very large quantity of books that I was then not keeping up with reading. But I'm insane, and I can't just say that I want to work through my physical TBR. So I created a reading challenge for myself called the Rainbow TBR Challenge, where I'm reading my physical TBR by color. I get choice paralysis if I just were to
Yeah.
be like, pick something from all of these shelves. I'd be like, I want to read everything, so I don't know. So I've constrained myself by color every single month. And the goal is to read 3 books from every single color. If you want to join me in that challenge, I made a Storygraph challenge, so you can just go to Storygraph and add those in as you go.